What's up? Wes Porter here again with another episode of Surviving the Gig. Hope you enjoyed last week's. This week we're going to talk about snare drum tuning. I've had a lot of people ask me about how I tune my snare drum. Lots of my videos I post, my drum cam videos I post online, people are like, how do you tune your snare? What kind of snare drum is that? Sounds great, blah blah blah. And I never really thought it was all that great, but I guess it is. So I guess we'll talk about it. Alright, so I'm here right now with one of my main snare drums. It's actually a cheap Rogers snare, the newer Rogers snares that were released a few years back. Literally, this drum only cost me like $50, but with the right tuning, the right heads, it sounds great. So I'm going to show you kind of how I tune it. Alright, so firstly, we'll talk about the heads that are on the drum. On the batter side, my personal favorite head is a Evans Power Center Reverse Dot, which means it's a one-ply head with a dot underneath in the middle for added durability. On the bottom side, snare side of the drum, I have a Evans Snare Side 500, which is a slightly heavier snare side head, which gives it a little bit throatier, meatier kind of sound. So, that being said, everything is finger tight. So basically I can detune everything with my fingers. And that's where I always start when I go to tune a drum. And I always start with the resonant side head. And the key to getting a good snappy snare drum sound is that the resonant side head needs to be tighter than the batter side head. So, I have my trusty little key here. This is a key off of a Tama iron cobra pedal. So I'll start here, and I'll go in half rotation. So 1, 2, 3. Is usually where I'll start, is 3. And this one, we go in a star pattern, the same way you do with lug nuts on a car. 3 turns. Make sure that stays finger tight. 3 turns. 3 turns. 3 turns. 3 turns. All right. All right, now we're going to do the batter head. Again, same thing. You do a star pattern. On the batter head, I'm going to do 2 full turns. So 1, 2, or sorry, 2 half rotations, I should say. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Alright, so now that's kind of a good starting point. So what I'll do is I'll grab a stick. Vader Fatback 3As. My stick of choice. Okay, so it's still sounding a little flat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the snare side and tune it up one more half crank on each lug. Actually, instead of doing a half rotation, we'll do a quarter rotation, like so. And then you can adjust the snare wires here however much you want. Or you can turn them off to kind of hear the true tone of the drum. And then typically, depending upon the gig, I use moon gels to dampen them. I like a big open snare drum so that I can use moon gels or duct tape or whatever to dampen the drum as I like, as opposed to starting with an already dampened drum. You can always put more dampening on, but if you have an already dampened head, you can't take dampening off. So. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Surviving the Gig. We'll see you next week. Happy tuning of the snare drums.